and welcome to another fantastic edition of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2020. I am your host, Darkmoon Firelight, Darkmoon EX right here. We are joined in the booth by Sprocket Stance. Hey, how's it going over there?
It's going all okay. Upstairs.
Upstairs, yes, because we are in the same house doing commentary on the same match. This is actually a husband and wife duo right here. I think this might be, I'm sure it's not the first that this has ever happened, but first that I know for at least this tournament right here.
Yeah, and basically what I'm going to take out of all of this is because I'm still very much new to all of it, so I will probably be asking a lot of questions.
That is all good. So we have a fantastic race here between Spellzapp and Hypes Nova. They have actually just readied up, so I'm gonna wave the green flag and let them. And I am super excited for this. It is not a draft party, in case you guys were wondering. This is just what they want to play, which is why one of them has an extra red mage, and one of them made the right decision and went with the black mage because I'm biased.
Yeah.
So I know you've watched this game a couple times, Sprockets.
Yes.
But I'm sure you are going to have plenty of questions, because what these players are going to do is going to be fast and furious, and they are just going to go to town. So you feel free to ask away while I just motor mouth a mile a minute.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I was fortunate enough to... Oh, they're off. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they'll just go.
I mean,
no waiting.
That is what they're here for.
Hype 3, Heal 3 I saw. I don't think it's learnable, though I think it might be Red Mage blocked. Temper and Warp are great to have at this level. No real AoE magic, but Temper and Warp are going to be good for mid and late game, so I'm sure they're not hating that. I'm betting they wish there was at least one damage spell in there, though.
Yeah, probably.
Oops. Find out soon. We have to go fight this mad pony. Go have fun with that, Spellzapp. Meanwhile, Hypes is buying some weaponry. This is a move that, like, some will do, especially when they see that there's no damage magic. Personally, I just wait. I'm not going to pick up a weapon or something until I see what's at the level 2 shops and see whether or not magic is going to shake out at all in my favor. Generally, you find weapons when you're going along the path of the game, and there's just no reason to buy, like, a crappy rapier when you're just going to find something better. Spellzapp's now taking on Imps. Hypes is running away from that mad pony. It's mad, I tell ya. Mad.
Yeah, don't mess with the ponies. I'm telling you.
They have conventions. They are really well aligned at this point. Those bronies do not matter.
I saw a horn on that one's head. That's mean.
Hypes is the first to make it into Temple of Fiends to go check out what's going on. Finds himself a cabin, a little bit of stutter in his connection, and then, ooh, there is some money. Over 13 grand total. That is no pocket change right there. And now we're on to Garland. Garland is the first boss you have to fight in the game if you want to get the key item from Sarah, the princess he kidnapped. Sarah's holding out loot and won't pay the ransom until after you've saved her.
Ah.
It flows from the original game where you couldn't like escape this little like peninsula right here because the king wouldn't build the bridge until you saved his daughter.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So key items are shuffled though, and we already got the free bridge, so we could just like go in another direction for a little while. Be like, nah, Garland, we got this. It's fine. Hypes is getting the business though from Garland here. Does manage to finally punch him down, get a couple levels for his red mages, save Sarah, and we have the TNT, Dynamite, and the Rod.
Wow.
And the Rod. So that's going to let them go into Earth Cave whenever they want to and go get tortured by Earth Cave. No one likes Earth Cave. Because the Rod is the key item to get you past the midpoint of that dungeon. Meanwhile, the TNT is a nice turn, and you can take to those lovely dwarves over on the west side of the Circle C. They love to play.
So how often do you get 2 items at once?
Anytime you fight Garland, you're going to get 2 items at once, because the king and princess will each have their own key item for you.
Makes sense.
Now, there are times, and some players will do this, well, they will go and they will check the king first before going to fight Garland, especially if Garland is giving them trouble, just to see what the king has and see if maybe it unlocks something or gives them a turn-in to do or whatever. But most of the time, you're just going to go and you're going to go fight Garland, you're going to get both of them at once, you don't have to stress about it.
Ah.
Hype's rolling directly north, gonna go raid the old lady's closet, see how much money he can steal from her retirement fund.
Oh my gosh.
Spellzapp, meanwhile, is continuing to pick up spells. Yeah, Heal 3 is on the second slot. That is Red Mage blocked. Ruse, however, is available for your fighter and your Red Mage. That is a nice defensive spell. They may come back for that. Latoya's got some more couch cash, even more couch cash, a little bit more change. Hypes doesn't care. He's already got plenty of money right now. He's good to buy his spells. He is moving on.
Yeah.
That is... You were going to say?
Oh, yeah, he is all set. Oh my gosh.
He's set for now, but depending upon what's over at Elfland magic-wise and how expensive it rolls in this seed, that extra 10 grand may have been useful. Cure 4 in the 4th slot there, I saw that much. That is fantastic. That's the spell you want. And we have Lightning 3! We have a clearance spell! Huzzah to the world!
It's all coming up Hype has.
It is. Changed his name to Millhouse because it came up him.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're both picking up their spells. They're both going to love seeing Cure 4. That's the best curative spell in the game. Saves life 2, which also revives you. And they're going to go fight those pirates. And the pirates traditionally don't have much health. In the main game, I think they have like 6 HP total. So they're only going to go up to like maybe 12 or 15 here. Something like that. Numbers are not my key thing.
An herb.
Lit 3 is super overpowered to kill them, and now they have some dank herb. So they can take that over to the Elf Prince and wake him up. And they're buying heal pots, because I can't blame them for that. That said, spend enough on heal pots, you're going to want Matoya's retirement fund. So traditionally, I'd be like, "Hey, what are you looking forward to in this seed? What are you hoping from our players?" But you are new enough at this game. My traditional questions don't work to get a conversation going.
Yeah, nope. Good luck. I'm here for the pretty pictures, all 8 bits of them.
As Chad is pointing out, Asher, our fantastic tracker, early warp does make the TNT check pretty easy, as it does for the herb. You go in there, you turn them in, you warp, you immediately exit, you're good to go. No long walks anyway around. And Chad is agreeing with you. There's very good pixel art.
Yeah, I mean, look at those waves.
That very refined ocean right there.
Yes.
So Spellzapp is also going to go up and find that Matoya's been holding out with all of that money. He may decide to steal her bearer bonds, even though Hype's reset. Hypes, meanwhile, is going to go over and hit that TNT, find out what the dwarves have waiting for him. Ideally for him, it's going to be the key or the adamant, so he can do more checks while he's in there. But the game isn't often that.
Now, I'm finding their names fairly interesting.
Yes. Spellzapp has gone with the party that he always names everyone, every time in his game. Dan, Dang, Danny, and Cece, which I believe is Crab Cakes, although he can correct me if I'm mistaken upon that. That is because, in part, Dan is his name.
Uh-huh.
So he has the whole D squad, the triple D squad. I haven't actually seen what Hypes Nova named his party.
Oh, hey! Hypos
Get
has
the
a
canoe!
Ooh.
Canoe opens up way more of this set right now. Gonna be able to go and hit Ice Cave and Volcano if you so choose. Plus, as a bonus, all those rivers you see can be used as docks for your ship. No more having to sail all the way over those little docks. Screw those docks. We off-road it now.
We don't need no docks.
We don't need no docks whatsoever.
Ain't nobody got
Spells
time for
that-
docs.
Ain't nobody. No, doctors got other things to do. They can go deal with COVID. We're gonna go park somewhere else. Got the Thor hammer. Normally that is a womp right there. That casts lightning 2, which, I mean, they have lightning 3. They don't care that much about it. But we are early enough in the game, things will actually fall over to that. That is not a bad item to have right now. One of the few times the Thor hammer is actually good to find. I saw Fire 2. We also have Exit, which is available to them, and Life, which is not currently, but I believe is learnable later on. So they've got most of the spells they're actually going to care about right now for white magic. Unfortunately, black magic so far is starting to come up a bust. Life 2 in the 3rd slot, I think that's also... Actually, he went and bought that. That might actually be available to him. Invis 2 is definitely blocked until post-promotion. And Quad X. Wow, black magic is kind of awful. So I'm getting a correction that the Life spell was white mage locked. Hopefully Life 2 is available to them, because otherwise that's all the white magic gone. Past the first, 3 levels or so, I start losing track of the spells, honestly. It's stuff. They'll buy it. If they use it, it's great.
There are choices they are making, and we will see how they play out.
Exactly. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out.
Yes.
So Spellzapp haven't done his spell checks, got what he wants, has now moving off. He's probably about ready to go get his canoe from the dwarves, and then we're going to see what he does. Hypes has decided that he does not care one whit about going into Marsh Cave. I cannot blame him. Marsh Cave sucks. Hashtag never Marsh. So he is going off towards the east, and he is going to sail over and see what's going on with the sages at Crescent Lake, doing their yoga in the park, and then maybe go check Volcano and Ice Cave. No, Asher, I see you in chat. Hashtag sometimes Marsh is wrong. Never Marsh. Don't want to hear that. Ragnarok, Sprocket's Stance is my wife and a newbie in the community. This is her first time doing commentary, and she is providing the newbie questions to let us know what it's like to join this game right now, fresh off the bat. Yeah. Meanwhile, hold on a second. I saw at level 6, Fire 3, and Brack. Kind of wish those were earlier. So you're going to say Sprockets.
Nice. Oh, hey, we got a crystal. Hype has
we do.
Crystal. Nice. The confused old men, is that right?
Yeah, well, they're confused if they're walking around. That is a special tag we have. But then we're not playing with that because, God, it's obnoxious sometimes. They're sedately doing yoga in the circle in the park.
I see. They're organized old men.
They are. It is a convention of old men.
I see. So that's what you call a group of old men, a convention. Anyway. Anyway, but yeah, I have tracked once so far, I've restreamed once, and then now, I'm commentating, because why not?
I was honestly going to call it an angry rant on Twitter of old men, but okay.
I mean, there's always that, if they take to the Twitters.
The Twitters. So Spellzapp's just a little behind. He's not behind, because he had more money to buy stuff. It's a wash right now. He's gonna get that crystal. I don't think we've as of yet seen the shop item, so we're still looking for that. And if it's not here and it wasn't over at Elf, that means that we are potentially looking at it being either at Onrak or Gaia. And if we're the players, we don't have floater yet, we're really hoping it's Onrak, because we don't want to have to go flying over to Gaia and miss out on some stuff for a while.
Now, it's still early in the game, but to my untrained eyes, it seems like Hypez is a little bit ahead.
By seconds right now, they're both currently doing a little bit of a grind outside of Crescent, trying to see what kind of experience they can get, but they haven't made any big moves right now. They're basically synced up as far as, everything. They both have the canoe, they both have, TNT. They should have just about everything they need to have done most of their turn-ins at this point. So it's really just a matter of, what they do next.
I see.
Hypes is heading northwards, and he is going to go hit Ice Cave. I want to double check and make sure that all the key items I think they actually have. Although, Rod they should have, because that came from the princess, I believe. I'm here helping out the tracker while we're doing stuff. There's a lot to track, and it's sometimes it gets away from you. Have noticed that the gold bracelets are max price, so I doubt they'll be buying those anytime soon. Hypes is actually not going to ice. He's actually over on his way to Volcano. I think he did a juke on me and decided to do that whole thing. Oh, this is what the commentators think I'm going to do. Ha ha ha.
Shows you. Gosh.
I know, right? Totally. The Volcano first floor is a nice dive when you have the ability to do it. Traditionally, the enemies aren't that difficult to take down, especially if you have some decent spells. And they do have Lightning 3, which is nice. There's a couple different grind tiles they can check out here, see what monsters they can get for early level grind. And there are a ton of chests on this floor, easy to get to, which does make it a play that you could do if you're interested in money and equipment right now. Spellzapp, however, is... Oh, he's going to do a northward walk around and up, and I think he's going to go walk over to Matoya to turn this in. This is an interesting move right here. I'm trying to think if the walk over and up is going to be faster than if he just did, use the canoe back and then sailed over to her. This is fascinating.
Ooh. Got Spellzapp strats going on.
Zap strats! Zap! Ah! Okay, so the frost wolves we see here are on this fire elemental tile. That's what Hypes Nova landed on. They're decent experience. They seem to die pretty easily to a lightning 3 for the most part. It's good to know that because that might be an easily grindable spot if you have a couple of houses to burn down the road. Use up all your spell charges, kill some wolves, go out, drop a house, get all your spell charges back, do it again. So Matoya had the Oxiale. Oxiale opens up the Sea Shrine. So that is 3 pieces of go mode, technically, that they are still looking for the key, the loot, and the 2 items to get them into Air Cave. So they're a little less than halfway there, but that is nice to find. Is Spellzapp going to go do a pop grind? Spellzapp, what are you monster? What are you doing?
They're both going off the rails.
They are. Straight. Well, I mean, Hypes is playing from my playbook, which, admittedly, I lost. I'm no longer in the tournament. Hypes don't play like me. But this is the playbook that I would play from. Spellzapp, though, doing the pop grind. That is fascinating. So, I know that you don't know this game as well as some of us do.
Oh, goodness, no.
Yeah, see, the game is... The overworld is broken up into large encounter zones. I don't remember exactly how many tiles across they are, but basically it's like giant squares overlaid on the map that you can't see. And when you're in that square, you'll get different encounters based on the table you're in.
Oh,
this little tiny bit of peninsula right there actually overlaps with an encounter zone that's much more difficult because it's much further north. So for whatever reason, if you stick around these couple tiles right here, you can get much more difficult encounters and then do some really good early experience grinding, which is what Spellzapp is trying to do right here. Yeah!
Gotta get those sweet grindings in.
Yeah. I mean, he's not getting great... Yes?
I'm sorry, Dark Moon, but MG Weirdo thinks I know all the things, so obviously, you know.
Okay, cool, take over. I'm gonna go to...
And then crickets. Like, look at that red wall. They sure doing a lot with those 8 bits. La-di-da.
Time for story time corner with Sprockets, as she just reads
my
fan fiction. Oh wow, that's the
Oh, we have a ribbon.
Guarding that ribbon and the Masamune. Holy crap! That treasury was loaded right there. Ribbon is one of the best headgear you can get in the game because it provides protection against basically every type of magic. And the Masamune is one of the best swords in the game you can get. For some of us, the best sword you can get in the game. Equipable by everyone at any class. So, two of those right next to each other.
So-
And then there was a grind tile right there. Hold on. And there was a grind tile right there of zombie dragons and whiz vamps. I don't think they have the firepower right now to take that out, but down the road, really excellent to see. You were
So that sword,
Yeah.
better than the Vorpal?
I don't want to get into that argument with chat.
Where's that can of worms? I'm gonna open it.
No. Baby's first sword has instances where it's worth using. That is all I'm gonna say on the matter.
I think you made your bed there.
I call it that every time. It's fun. I still use it. I've been known to take on chaos with Baby's first sword. It has its uses. That is the only thing I'm ever going to call that sword. I'm just saying. But yeah, as some of the people in chat are pointing out, Vorpal is promotion locked. So I mean, they couldn't use it right now, even if they found it. But Masamune can be used by anyone at any time, which is very nice.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you really like that black mage, you want them to swing something better than a stick, go ahead and throw on the Masamune on them. They can do it for very little effect. So we got Spellzapp going and doing the dive into Ice Cave. He wants to hit the incentivized locations. I cannot blame him. Hypes has gotten great equipment. Hypes has yet, though, to get an actual incentivized item out of here, and he is skipping the one that is blocked by those zombie Gs and whiz vamps. He wants nothing to do with that time. It would not surprise me to see Spellzapp do a dive here into Volcano after he's done, but it's also Spellzapp, and he could just as likely be like, nah, man, I don't need it. I got temper. Let's play the game with the saber, because I've seen him do that before.
Oh my gosh.
He is an absolute madman. Coral Sword, that's, like, most of us be like, oh, that's gross. And he's like, yeah, Coral Sword, give it to me.
Spellzapp has the key.
The key is essential, even if you didn't realize it's essential because you played this game back in its vanilla mode. There is a key-locked door in Temple of Fiends you may never have known existed. If you don't have that key, you can't finish the game. No matter if you have all the other items, you can't finish the game.
Oh, so while you could probably get by without getting some of the items, the key is definitely...
Key is one of the requireds.
Gotcha.
Key is required to get you past a certain door in Topher. The loot is required to get you into Topher. And then there are the other items that are required to get you in through the Fiend dungeons. If you somehow manage to get all of those without collecting all the key items, you're great. You can... Done.
Okay.
Ooh, loose adamant, that is some payout right there. So he has the key plus the loose adamant. Very, very nice. So to explain this for you, because you are new.
Yes.
We have a certain amount of extra items added. Huh?
You're allowed.
I am. I know that. To explain this for you, we have the a certain number of extra items thrown into the incentivized pool, and with a number of places that are incentivized, like Ice Cave and Titan's Trove and Ordeals, there are more key items, incentivized items, than there are incentivized locations. So 3 of them are going to get pushed out into the pool, plus the canal, which is not even in the pool to begin with. So technically they're looking at max for 4 loose items to finish out this game. So having one of them out of the way already is very nice.
Oh, I see. Keylock Marsh.
There are
Crab
3
cakes.
key-locked rooms there. Yeah, I mean, if that's something you want to punish them with, I am all for. Hashtag always keylock Marsh. It does put it on the table. And we've got carry the recycle bin.
That's amazing.
That is interesting. Hype's giving us an interesting boss sprite. I mean, I did see he has an old man as his thief sprite as well, but at least the colors are the same, so I knew what he was going for. I'm guessing Spellzapp exited out. I didn't see him finish Ice Cave, but he's leaving and not going back in, and everything's still lit on the tracker, so I was kind of paying it. Ah, he cast exit. Thank you, Crab Cakes. I was kind of paying attention to the recycle bin fight.
Yeah, that stunned me too. Like, hey, recycling has been taken care of. We're good.
He took it out. That is exactly what you want to do. That was very good of you, Hypes. We're very proud of you.
Yes.
It was very distracting. Way to distract the commentary team right there. The fight itself was over like it was nothing, but I was distracted by that sprite. So Hypes is going back to town. Slab is there, so he can buy that if he wants. That is good. As another of the key items that is needed. Spellzapp, meanwhile, is burning off encounters, I think, so he can continue sailing the river system. He is skipping the Volcano Treasury. He does want to just go deal with those turn-ins and use the key to find other cool stuff. He does not care about Volcano at all. That said, if he doesn't find anything in the key locks that opens up the seed for him, it's then going to be a choice of either Marsh or Volcano, and I know which one I'm doing, and it's not Marsh. So since he has the key but not the crown, he can't fight Astos, but he can check Astos' closet. Finds Jack Squat. That was less than squat. That was sub squat.
That was diddly. Diddly squat.
That was thank you. Diddly squat. Ooh. And now he gets to fight the credits boss. There we go. Now we can move on. And we are gonna go get a hooray from the dwarf. Hooray! And turn the adamant for the Opal Cheerio, which is the best armor everybody in the game can equip. There are better stuff for the fighter, but that is, if you want something that anyone can equip at all, that is the best armor you're gonna get. Don't ask me why a bracelet is better than a, like that you wear on your wrist is going to be better than, like, a shirt or a piece of armor, like chain or wooden. But somehow it is. Fear my bracelet! Okay, make sure you guys hit this thing on my wrist.
Hey, you know what? Fashion. It'll knock anyone for a loop.
Chat's trying to correct me and say there's better stuff for the knight, not the fighter. It's the same character. Blah. Semantics. Well, whatever Spellzapp found there, he wanted to walk out. I didn't see much of anything that was really interesting, but Spellzapp gonna spell. And now he is headed north towards the Temple of Fiends to go see what's in the 2 key-locked rooms there. Hypes, meanwhile, is doing his dive into Ice Cave. He is going to find that key. He is going to find that adamant. He is going to be very happy with what he pulls out of there. It's like, yeah, the opal bracelet is a lot like that yellow symbol on Batman's heavily armored chest. It's distracting, and you go for the bracelet, not the guy behind.
Or like that recycling bin.
Fear my recycling bin. Did you separate the recycling? No, you monster.
Yeah.
No.
That's gotta go.
Carry, right out. Whole lot of nothing over there at Temple of Fiends, just some pocket change. We are moving on. So we're at that situation where, I mean, the only new stuff we're seeing are the chests from Spellzapp. Unfortunately, Hypes is doing something we've already seen before, so there's not a lot of new stuff to report on his end.
Okay. Now, Hypes hasn't gone over to the Hooray Gnome, right?
He did the Adamant turn, or Adamant. He did the TNT turn-in, I believe, but I don't think he's done the other. He doesn't have Adamant, so he can't do that turn-in yet.
Okay.
He will go and do it, though, and probably check the key lock chest while he's there, because all in one go and just take care of it. So now with key in hand, Spellzapp is going to go check the elves' closet. Their little mini treasury. Gets the white shirt. White shirt is a great item. It casts Invis 2 across your party. There is some extra evade for them whenever they're in battle. Cannot complain about that whatsoever. Spellzapp is doing the dream. Hashtag always keylocked Marsh. I thought Spellzapp did dwarves. So, yeah. Then it's gotta be Marsh for him or Volcano. Chat's debating with me. Chat always debates with me. Apparently I'm just wrong, which I can't debate because I did wash out of the tournament, so...
Well, somebody has to debate for you.
That Mike guy is wrong. I am. I know it. So we're deep down. He went south side first for Marsh. We're going to see what are in these few rooms of chat. Plenty of stuff to do. And I'm being told from the chat that he did indeed skip Keylock Marsh, which is not a play I would do, but Spellzapp going to Spellzapp. Nothing there, Spellzapp. There you go. Get that heal pot. Let's move on. Not getting a lot of love so far here in the bottom side of Marsh, but then it's Marsh, there's no love to give. So that's just how that works. Marsh is a dungeon that sucks. There's no other way to put it, really. It's spread out, it's annoying to go through, there's a lot of chests to check, without it being like a high chest density. Like, it's just how they're spread out and how they're arranged is just obnoxious. And this Naga water fight is gross too. And that's part of the problem with Marsh, is that when you have shuffled encounter tiles, which we do, so you can get all kinds of random stuff that might be way out of your league to fight here, followed up by shuffled skills and spells, Marsh can become quite difficult. One of the big issues with Marsh is the fact that it has a lot of different enemies in it. Spiders and arachnids and scums and mucks and a couple different types of wolves, a couple different types of bones. You've got crawls, you've got ghosts. There's just so many different things in here that can get a spell or skill that is nasty, that Marsh is one of the few dungeons in the game that has actually become worse in the randomizer, not better. And Spellzapp washes out of that water fight, amusingly enough. Decides that was enough of that floor, and now he's going to go check north side instead. Cannot blame him for that.
Yeah, deuces.
Marsh. Gonna Marsh. Hey, look, there's the canal on the north side. I bet he's really bitter to see that right now.
Thanks, Marsh.
Appreciate it. Hypes is done over at Ice Cave. He got everything he wanted out of there, and then some. So with that canal, we are now 2 loose and 2 to go. Canal does, however, help Spellzapp because, we think, it gets him to be able to go in a different direction, and he can walk away from Marsh if he never wants to go back. And we'll see whether, after burning some encounters, he decides to go back in or not, and that would be a no. And he is moving on.
Salt the earth, set it aflame. Done.
It's Marsh. I kind of feel like it's already salted. With all the salty tears of everyone who's dying.
Oh, womp womp.
Yeah, aside from the places that he can't get to because he doesn't have the floater, which is basically 2 towns, he has the entire world open to him at this point. Spellzapp can go just about anywhere and do just about anything, so whatever he wants to do, the world is his mollusk. Gets on his boat, and he is sailing westward. Hypes has just made it back to Elfland. He is going to start doing his Keylock checks. So if there's nothing in Keylock Dwarf, and there ends up being nothing in Keylock Marsh, then Spellzapp, despite having spent some time in those dungeons, is because of that canal, is going to be, honestly, at this point, a bit ahead of Hypes Nova in everything except for gear. He's got the time ahead, and it's his moves now as to where he goes next that's going to define how this seed plays out for him. He is checking out Melman now, gonna see what those spells are, and go set up his slab turn-in if he ever gets the floater.
So, what are the next items you would think they would need?
Well, there's a few things they still need, but chat is correcting me and they are right. I completely forgot that Hypes killed the recycle bin because it wasn't the carry sprite. That's really screwing me right there. So yeah, no, Hypes is in the lead right now. Hypes has a crystal up. Hypes is in the lead. Thank you, chat. I appreciate it.
Chat,
So no,
chat has your back.
They do. So it's hard to say what Spellzapp is going to want when it comes to armaments, defense, whatever. A traditional play would be to try and get some good armor for your fighter, try and get some good swords, which the Muslim would qualify for. Make sure you have some ribbons before you start considering yourself anywhere near go mode once you have the key items you need. The key items are still lacking at this point, being the chime, the cube, and the loot. All of those required to finish the game. Spellzapp is definitely in the I'm going to check incentives and move on with my life mode. Spellzapp will finish the game with just about any set of equipment that he can find, though. So what he is going to consider go mode is going to be very different from what someone like myself would consider it. Hypes, I'm going to assume with that Mosmoon, is going to play slightly more traditionally. I would bet on him probably digging for a little more gear. So for Spellzapp, right now he's got to hope progression is not at Keylock Dwarf. For Hypes, even though he doesn't know it, he's got to hope that progression is at Keylock Dwarfs. Because I don't know how long it's going to be before Spellzapp decides to go back to Keylock Dwarfs.
Oh boy.
He's already done the TNT and the Adamant turn, and he has absolutely no reason to do anything else there. But he has Warp, so he can do Ordeals, which is lovely. And he can do Waterfall, which is lovely. And he can do them quite easily, too. So those are great to do. Yeah. I think we're just going to see what Spellzapp does, because he's going to do his own strategy. Hype's getting his Opal Cheerio, moving on with his life. Walks past that dwarf he's already done his turn into, and now let's see what is lurking here. Money. More money. Zeus Gauntlet. Helpful but not essential. More money. Heal pot. A little bit of couch change, and a little bit more money. Spellzapp was safe in skipping that. So you can see that this is a maze here over on Spellzapp's side. He is going through this teleporter maze right here. But because of the way Warp works, he can warp back to a teleport that doesn't work well, skip on to the next one, and continue moving on. Warp is a great spell you are not meant to have in this dungeon.
Oh, well then.
It's promotion locked, and to get promotion in this dungeon, you have to finish this dungeon.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah. It's pretty amusing. I don't think the designer expected you to be able to do this here.
And Spellzapp's
It's
just like, you know
funny.
what I'm gonna do.
Oh, no, you got it. If you got it, flaunt it. That's the way it works. Ooh, the triple Agama pack. This is grindable. He's at least going to take this fight. So the question right now for Spellzapp is, what gear is along the path that might dissuade him from going to do a full dive from Volcano? And what is the key item going to be here? Oh, his thief is kissing dirt. I'm sure he doesn't care. In all honesty, these are very beefy Agamas. I probably wouldn't take much past this fight at this point. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, punch that Agama! Punch it!
Yay!
There you go. 3,000 experience, up to level 13 on a couple of his mages. Not going to complain about that. Gonna finally give that red mage something else to do besides magic. And we are moving on. Ooh, ambushed by scorching Medusas. They got the spice and they're rubbing it all.
They're lost in the sauce.
They are. That is some buffalo wing sauce right there. They're putting around. Ooh, I'm feeling a little scorched right now. Oof. So Hypes is preparing for his level of disappointment at seeing absolutely nothing worthwhile here at Topher.
He at least got some change, though.
He won't keep it. Money doesn't matter at this point.
Oh.
It's only going to matter if he actually cares about the experience he can potentially get off of these catmen. And Spellzapp has basically just taken every fight he can find here because he wants that experience. He's already up to level 14. Very nice. The Spellzapp levels are whatever he feels like using. And he has a katana. That might just put his thief back into play whenever he decides to class change.
Oh.
And we have the chime that is the bottomless Sky Palace. So, there is still one more incentivized place that he can easily get to right now, and that would be the Waterfall. Waterfall has a robot that has a key item for you that you can go turn in. And then the question is going to be where Spellzapp decides to go from there. Traditional play would say that if you're in Waterfall, and you're right next to Onrak, and you have the Oxiel, so that means you can go to the Sea Palace that's at Onrak. You do the Sea Palace while you're there. Do the dungeon in front of you. If anyone's going to do it at level 14, it would be Spellzapp.
What's the general level of wanting to do that?
Never. No.
Oh,
no.
Never? Just don't.
I mean, if you have Brack charges early on, any level that actually has Brack and you can survive getting down to the bottom is fine. But it's like if the enemies are tough and you don't have Brack to take out the boss there, because it's an easy way to short circuit the boss of that particular spell. And you have to go at it melee, and that boss is nasty too. 18 to 22, maybe, like near Topher levels, because sometimes if you actually have to fight Kraken traditionally, he can be an absolute terror.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah. We got chat kind of banking on him going and doing mermaids first. It's a possibility. We'll see. But knowing that the slab is over at Crescent Lake, anytime they go into shops at this point, it's simply so they can just buy items they need for continuing onwards. Exiting out, dropping a house, and burn, burn, one more burn, and off to Waterfall. I've been paying attention. There's 3 encounters to get rid of before you get a nice long run.
Interesting.
Yes, so, since I'm sure you don't know that, because still learning, the encounter table is shuffled in the randomizer, but it is consistent. So when you get into a seed and you start paying attention, you can see when and how the encounters are occurring. If you hard reset, like as if you push the power button on and off on your console, that will reset the encounter table of the game, and you will have you will consistently be back at the start and know exactly what you're going to be fighting again and again. If you soft reset, you move your way further into the encounter table and don't reset yourself back to the beginning. And that would be as if you hit the reset button on the enemy.
I see.
Yeah, the Crab Cake's noting, and I agree, Spellzapp is building his lead off of the the scumming of the encounters. Getting rid of those first 3 there and just moving on with his life, it's really helping him. He is practically 2 full dungeon checks at this point ahead of the incentivized dungeons. Hypes may have a crystal, but Spellzapp is building a very good incentive lead. And I don't know if you noticed right there, there's a bat flying in that wall.
Yeah.
That is out of bounds bat. You're not supposed to have a bat there. But out of bounds bat don't play by your rules.
Out of bounds bat does what he wants.
Oh yeah, he is a rebel. Yeah, he is one of our mascots, Out of Bounds Bat. Anytime we see him, because he can like fly way far down and you just can't see him. But he has been very gracious to give us his presence today.
Aww.
The seed has been blessed by Out of Bounds Bat. And the cube. Hey everyone, what's the chant I want to see in chat? Gonna take him a second because we're a few seconds ahead. Well, that's a good chant too. Thank you. Yes, hashtag never Marsh. Marsh. Everyone's shouting Marsh. Look what you've done.
Yes. Yes. Anarchy!
And now they're chanting mermaids, 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 and actually I'm half wondering if Spellzapp's gonna do it.
Huh. But what's this vanilla cube I'm seeing?
Okay, so there are certain incentive items you get at certain areas in the game. Traditionally, the robot will give you the cube that you need for Sky Palace. So it's vanilla because it's right exactly where it occurs in the original game.
I see.
Now, if a cube had been loose in that room in one of the other chests, and the robot had given you something else, that cube would be what we would traditionally call French vanilla. Because it's right by where it's supposed to be, yeah.
And far
I didn't
more
coin that
tasty.
term. Oh, yeah. Nice vanilla creme. Oh, the Arsa Hags have Thunder. Thunder, you're not playing in this game. You're in a different slot in the tournament. But yes, chat is all excited. He is making the mermaids play.
Yeah, it's almost mermaid, so... Yeah. Let's get some mermaids up in here.
Mermaid hype?
Hype!
So that is a nasty fight to have with Thunder on it, the Wiztahag Arsahag, because it is an unrunnable fight, and it often comes up regularly in Sea Shrine. They did not want to see that particular spell being on there.
Mm.
Thunder can be quite costly. Meanwhile, it looks like Hypes is going over to make an Earth Cave play. Very bold. So he has the rod. It's a dungeon in front of him. There are 3 different trap tiles on this floor, right here, that he is in right here, that he can go and check and see what kind of good grinds he can get. There's also a few treasure chests to check, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does all of that and then decides to go dig further because he's here with the rod, and why not? You've got the Mazamoon. The world is your Mala.
Gotcha. So the rod is what gets you into this place, correct?
The rod is what gets you through it. You can do, oh look, loose crown. Everything's coming up Millhouse again.
Yeah.
So, the rod is what gets you midway through this dungeon. There is a vampire resting on a throne on the 3rd floor.
Okay, I remember him.
And to get past, yeah, and he is guarding a treasure chest that would traditionally have the ruby in it. It's not incentivized today. If there's a key item in there, it's just a bonus. But there is a slab further past him that you can't break without the rod. You basically have to come in here, do a grab at a key item, do a turn in, come back in here, and double dip the dungeon in the vanilla game. However, he has the rod already. He can just go do this dungeon all in one lump sum.
Huh.
I did not see anything really especially interesting in Mermaids, and the tracker has not written anything down there. So that play kind of came up empty for Spellzapp. He probably exited, took his experience, and now he's going to go dip the other side. Ooh, unrunnable ghosts. That's ugly. They hit like trucks.
Oh, and now they're dead. Oh wait, no.
One of them is.
One of them. There we go.
One of them. So far we have since chat is asking, we have a loose crown at Earth. We had the loose... what else was loose? Loose adamant at Ice. And we had the canal. I think we're only at 3 of the 4 looses so far.
Ooh, Hype's got a ruby. Okay, now what makes it loose?
Hype's got the ruby from Astos. Okay, it's loose if it doesn't show up in an incentivized location.
Okay.
And our incentivized locations are all the normal NPCs that you can do turn-ins from, and that includes the robot who will give you the cube. That includes also the dungeons of Ice Cave, the Titan Strove, which they can't access yet, well, he can because he now has the ruby. The Ordeals, and I don't think I'm missing one. I think that's it. Ice Ordeals and Titans because because the element incentive is not on this week because it's Chaos Week. So yes, if it shows up in an area that's not incentivized, it's a loose item.
Gotcha.
Sometimes what's funny is it can show up in an incentivized chest that isn't incentivized, so it's still technically loose.
What?
Figure that stuff out.
What? I'm gonna...
Like, there's an incentivized chest in Marsh, but if Marsh isn't incentivized, but the item shows up in the incentivized treasure, it's still technically a loose item.
Well, goodness sakes.
And I've seen that happen. So, Ruby in hand, Hypes is coming back here to go do his turn-ins. He's gonna go check Sada, the old man in the dungeon, or dungeon cave, whatever. The hermit. See what Sarda has for him, because he's here, and we have free Sarda turned on. Free Sarda! Let him be a cranky old man who can wander around his room.
Aww.
He has the bottle, not especially useful. Thanks, Sarda. Can't do anything with the bottle because we don't have floater yet. And then we're going to go also see what's at Titan's Trove since it is incentivized. Chad is wondering what he's been using that bottle for all this time. I'm just going to say Howard Hughes and leave it at that, and you can go look up history. Spellzapp's still not turning up much at this point. He's getting a lot of clearing going on, but we know where a lot of the incentivized items are, and they're not where Spellzapp is at, which is unfortunate. There's a pro ring there and the tail. And the tail is also not useful right now. You can do class change when you can use it, but you gotta be able to fly, and we still don't have that floater.
Yeah, but once he gets the floater, oh my gosh.
And actually with that crown and everything else we have right now, and where the incentivized turn-ins are set up for, floater is loose. And required at this point.
Where is floater
Is it
and
required?
vanilla?
No, it's... We have... Do we not have loot? Thought we had the loot. I'm probably remembering a different seed. Okay, we don't have loot. Loot has to be behind something, so yeah, a floater is absolutely 100% required. What were you asking?
Oh, that's okay. Where is floater located in the vanilla?
In vanilla, it's in the ice cave that they went to and got that specific chest they got the key out of. That's the floater chest.
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh. I mean, and floater can be just about anywhere in any of the dungeons that they haven't checked chests in yet. So, you know...
That's fun.
Marshlocked. Marshlocked. Everyone's voting for Marshlocked. Second or third floor of Earth. Actually, all of Earth that Hypes hasn't checked yet. I've kind of missed what all Hypes has seen down here, but oh, it's because he hasn't seen much yet. Look at that. So any of the chests in Earth, and if floater is in Earth as well, that is just gross. That is way too much power in Earth. Sharp Tooth in chat, always never don't dive Marsh. Yes? If it's a dumpster fire, you know I rolled it Asher. I'm just saying. Although we did see the dumpster earlier. That was Carrie. So, Spellzapp is in a situation. Kraken went down the line and knocked out a bunch of his dudes.
Oh.
Thankfully, he had the white shirt going. Yeah, so he got, like, some of his casts off, and he's protected at this point. But I think all he has to take on Kraken at this point is a fire sword and a prayer, so he is tempering up as best as he can. 91 damage! Woo!
Come on, Danny.
He is out of tempers. And a miss. Oh, and Kraken gets through with a critical hit. Ouch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah!
Yay.
That's Spellzapp strats right there. There you go. Oh, hey! The element tile looks to be for our Hydras. This is a fight I would take because they're usually weak and worth a lot of experience. But that was such a clutch fight right there. Very nice. Managed to pull it out with just a red mage, a hope, and a prayer. And now we are technically tied right now. Although I would still probably give a slight lead to Hypes because he knows just how much good stuff is lurking over there at Earth Cave. In fact, if Floater is here for Spellzapp at Sky, that I'm kind of wondering if that's even a detriment because it opens up more places for him to check, not less.
Yeah, but Hypes doesn't have the chime or the cube.
But he knows where those are. Those are at incentivized locations. He's not like close to go right now, but like. Oh, Crabcake's in chat asking what chest Hype skipped in Volcano. It was the Grey Worm chest on the Agama tile. It was defended by a Zombie Dragon Whiz-Vamp tile in the shuffled encounter zones, and he noped out of it. And here we go, as Crabcake said in chat. Sky, 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 sky. Although I think she only said 4 of them and not the 5 I said.
You just had to add it for flourish.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, they're gonna check every dungeon I think they can without going to Keylock Marsh as everyone is hoping they do. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot of dungeon checking right now. Crabcake saying if it's right side C, then Spellzapp is going to be in trouble. Did he not finish clearing the TFC floor right there? I didn't see that. I know he checked the waterfall, but I didn't realize he might have skipped chests on the middle side. We'll find out. Spellzapp has been orphaning a lot of chests. I will notice that much. Okay, he skipped 3 chests on the seaside floor. So he's got the Opal Shield, which is nice whenever he can finally class change, which is not anytime soon. And he's gonna exit out for that, save it, and start over. Get his power cycle going again. That was a blue stake first off the encounter tile. And he sees it, and he's like, oh! Hello, blue stake, give me that, please, and thank you. So in case you're wondering, there are plenty of people in the community who feel like Tyros are delicious meat, and wow, yeah, 2 swipes and that blue steak went down. Ooh. The Tyro is the red version of that dinosaur, and they're worth decent experience. The T-Rex is rarer, it's worth even better experience, and Spellzapp decided to go in for the kill right there because it was available, and he wanted that delicious meat.
Nice. Now, is it... You call it steak. Is it because it's a blue rare steak? Because it's rare and it's blue?
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh yeah. I have actually called it that, and I think others have as well. It's it's right there.
It is. It comes together. It's perfect.
It writes itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the guards have sleep touch. That's kind of icky. I mean, sleep touch isn't the worst thing because it wears off fairly quickly, but still, that's kind of gross. Free gold bracelet. Rune sword, which doesn't matter at this point.
Ribbon?
Oh, there's a ribbon and an ice sword. Spellzapp is starting to get to the point where if he finds Floater and can start doing his turn-ins, he may not bother with worrying about too much in the way of armor and other stuff. You got gold, you got a mid-range sword, you've got tempers and fasts. He may just bail. Like, I could see it going either way at this point.
Yeah, this is fairly tense.
And Earth doesn't have anything in it other than that crown for the tail. So, kind of a bust, all things considered. And everyone in chat is complimenting Spellzapp on that encounter manipulation he's doing by burning off those first 3 encounters. It is fantastic. Him figuring that out as early as he did has given him quite the solid little lead. So we're almost done here in the bottom part of this Sky Palace, what is technically called the Mirage Tower.
Yes. Take
Well,
out
we're
IE.
killing Internet Explorer.
Yes. And
Wow, we did too. I think we all need to agree he hacked it as bad as pretty much anyone else can.
you know, I think that was fairly accurate. 100%.
That was
Good job,
100%.
Hypes.
Would watch again.
Yes. Oh, that brought me a certain amount of joy.
Blue screen of death right there for the Master of Death Lich, and we are moving on. So we know there's nothing else important in Earth. There could still be something in those 3 chests in Sky. Oh, he found Excalibur. Spellzapp will take that sword if he ever manages to find Clash Change, which is still up in the air. So it could be in the 3 chests that we skipped in Sea. It could be in the chest that we haven't seen at the bottom of Marsh. Progression could also be in Sky. There's not a whole lot else that can, not a whole lot else that it can be at this point. We've seen most of this game in less than an hour.
Excellent. Oh, Hype's got the Axale.
Finally picking up his Oxyale, gonna let him go and do that C play. He is 1 crystal up, but it's based on the 2 easier dungeons to get through. So, yeah, it's one of those situations where I don't know how much that really matters.
I find it interesting that Spellzapp's basically going to have the 2 orbs done. Probably before Hypes gets the 3rd one that he's going
Very
for.
likely, yeah. He's gonna have mostly tied it up at this point, and he'll be very close to go because he will have largely narrowed down like where else he can check.
Yeah, and Spellzapp has the ones that Hypes doesn't have.
Yep,
Huh.
and they're the harder ones too.
Uh-huh.
That said, he's gonna spend a fair bit of time here checking the
Floater.
treasure chest. Oh, there's the floater. Now, how much Spellzapp is gonna check some stuff. How much more is he gonna check is the question. Found the dragon armor as well. Clash Change is now better and better on the books for him. And he's starting to skip encounters too.
Yeah, doesn't he basically just need the loot?
Yeah, loot is probably at one of the 2 locations we weren't able to check until we got Floater. Either the bottle turn-in or the slab turn-in.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So that loose floater is going to change a lot here. So if Spellzapp does his turn-ins and does what we expect him to do for gets the floater, gets those turn-ins, tries to figure out how close he is to go, it's going to be a matter of how much more he checks worrying about Clash Change or not.
Oh, Crabcake's bottle was with Sarda. Thank you for the checker and the notes.
Yes. Old man was hitting the bottle pretty hard. So Hypes has cleared out Earth, and now he's going to go do his incentivized locations. So he's behind on these checks, but ahead of Crystal. This is like knowing where Floater is. This edge might slightly be in Spellzapp's favor, but I still feel like this is anyone's game. And that's before we even get into Topher and see just how bad it's going to be. Hypes, of course, is also going to have Clash Change on the table. Like, there's an edge there if it comes down to gear. Unable to get away from these rock goals. Gets him on the 2nd try. Gonna finish out this floor, and then he's gonna have 1 more floor of checks before he's gonna be done in this dungeon. There are still a couple of loose that I think he doesn't have. 1 loose that he doesn't have. He's still looking for that Earth Crown. That he doesn't know it's there, but he's still looking for it. So he has to check these chests if he's worried about maybe missing an incentivized item. Those slimes gave that mage the business. And something else worth pointing out, he may really want to get Clash Change just because of the fact that there are spells that he wants. And he has great... He's already getting into endgame levels, too. Like, it's just... this has been working so well for Spellzapp. Checking the 6-pack over here. Gets a Sun Sword. That is a nice upgrade for where he's at right now. And some ice armor. Good all around. That, like... That is some good stuff right there. He's starting to get to the point where if he decides not to class change, I'm not going to stress too much about it for him.
At what point do they normally class change?
When they have it, and well, it depends on the parties. At level 15 and above, if you are class changed, your fighter and your thief start gaining spell levels. And the level you class change at determines that. So if you class change at level 21, you're going to get a spell every other level. So level 21, 23, 25, like that. Up to 4 charges. The reason you would class change early is because you have characters that you want to use gear and get spell levels on. The reason why you would class change late or not at all is because you have a black belt. Because black belts gain absolutely no benefits and actually are penalized by a class change.
Oh, okay then.
Something weird about the way the game was originally designed, there's a lot of that in this game, by the way. Black belts have an inverted magic defense. They get more magic defense points if they level up as a black belt than they do if they level up as the upgraded master, quote-unquote. And that's the upgrade, that's the quote-unquotes. So, if you're playing black belt strats, you don't class change.
Okay.
And as Crabcakes pointed out after someone else in chat was asking, like saying, Hypes is going to be able to get Floater here. He's not going to be able to get Floater here, though. The cube is over at Waterfall, and that means that Hypes can only do the bottom half and not get Floater out of here. Meanwhile, Spellzapp found the Vorpal Sword, and everyone's cheering for it. Yes, yes, baby's first sword, you're happy, whatever. Ooh. Whizvamps are not playing around. That Black Mage ate dirt once again. I mean, that's what a Black Mage does when you put him anywhere that he can be hit, which is anywhere. They eat dirt.
I was gonna say, like, more often than not, like, there he is, face planted. Like, it's his natural state.
He is just keeping the floor safe, everyone, okay? It might run off. He has to lay down and hold on to it to keep it where it is.
Thumbs up. We're all good here.
Floor is still here. Space Drake in chat noting that we've seen a lot of incredibly nasty Whizvamps lately. I don't think it's lately. I think it's just the Whizvamps. They're just very powerful. So now we're on the Bridge of Destiny right here, and already chat is praying that we get to see a Warmech, who is the secret hidden boss of this game, only appears on this one-tile bridge right here. So if you want to see Warmech, pray for it.
Oh. This is the only area you get a Warmech?
Traditionally in the game, yes.
Oh, man.
We've gotten a lot of encounters. But no robot chicken. Oh, sad.
This run is not as blessed.
Not as validated. Go back and run it again, Spellzapp. You've got Warp. Warp back to the start of that bridge and run it again. So we're taking on Tiamat 2. He's actually spending a little time trying to figure out how he wants to do it. Swings the Coral actually does 53 damage with the Coral Sword. This Tiamat does not have a lot of Absorb, which is nice to see. Gets that fast off, get double hits for the fighter. Gets a temper off, do extra damage. 6 hits for 77. That was piddly. Come on, fighter. You can do better with that Sun Sword. Another temper. Another temper. 3 temper casts on there so far. Sleep 2 does nothing. 7 hits for 127. Fighter, we expected more from you. May as well let the Thief do work. He was actually doing better damage.
Oh!
Boom!
Dang.
Temper, temper. Another big swing. That turns out to be a small swing. 5 hits for 241. You're really not impressing us here, fighter. There goes that thief. Say goodbye to that thief. Tries for an extra cast. Tiamat is left defenseless. 7 hits for 588. There you go. And falls down. And with that, Spellzapp ties it back up. And we are now 2 apiece. And he has the floater.
Wow. Yeah, I just feel like we're watching two fantastic racers.
Oh yeah, no, these are guys at the top of their game, really putting this team to its paces. So with this, Hypes is going to be able to do this cube pull, and then he can go back to Sky, because there's practically nothing else for him to do. It's either Sky or C. He might actually just go do C while he's in the area, because that would make more sense, honestly. So as chat is discussing, once Spellzapp has his floater turned in, if he goes to the volcano and does armory, he'll have a ribbon and the Mazamoon. And that would be probably enough of go mode for him to walk through the rest of the game. If he goes to Earth and gets the crown, he can class change. And that will be enough of go mode for him to finish the game. He is in a fantastic position to go mode these last 2 dungeons. We just have to see what he does.
Oh, man.
Off-roads it with that boat, drops the floater, picks up an airship, and he's off and running. Off towards Crescent Lake to do some shopping. Shopping percent! Everyone get ready, it's time for a shopping montage!
Montage! Gotta have a montage!
Yeah, the class change would help Spellzapp, as Chad is pointing out, because he would have the spells that he wants. Ruse and Cure 4. It's important if he wants that on the night. It may not be that important, though. I love how Ice is 33,000. That is, like, for the level 1 version of that spell at the level 6 shop. That is sick and funny. Well, he doesn't need it. It's just funny to see it, like, everything else rolled at, like, 6,000, 4,000. That one, 33,000 for the dumbest spell in the game. Good job there. Hey, while we're at it, you want to spend max price for a lamp? Or for lamp? Or like Afer? A-mute? Spellzapp, where are you headed? I'm curious. You're gonna go drop the slab, you're gonna go do your turn-ins, so you can do your 2 turn-ins, Gaia and Luthane. Very smart. Get those out of... One of these will be loot, one of these will be power bonk. I don't think he's going to mind about having either of those. Both are useful. And now that he's here, he is flying downwards.
He's doing his zoomies.
He is doing his air zoomies. Nuke at level 7. Not sure if he was able to buy that. He is just beelining right to that bottle turn-in now. Gonna see what the fairy gives him. And I guess he's kind of hoping he doesn't have to go do the walk to Luthane. And he has to do the walk to Luthane. Womp womp!
Man.
Rando, gonna rando. Enjoy that. So, onwards! Now we're doing the walk to Luthane, because there's nothing else we can do. Meanwhile, Hypes is working his way through Sea Shrine, and he's having to clear everything out here as well.
Oh, Randomania is raiding with a party of 56 raiders.
Thank you, Randomania. We appreciate you coming.
Welcome. Welcome in this very kind of tense match, I have to say.
Very tense. And as we expected, because we knew the math, from that slab turn-in, he now has the loot. Spellzapp is effectively in go mode whenever he wants it. And he knows at this point that whatever he finds next is going to lead to the tail, so it's just a matter of how much that tail matters to him. He's gonna go do his cardia checks. Interesting. Really? Oh, defense sword. Hey, that's nice. That is a free ruse cast for that fighter, unlimited however he wants it. That changes the math a bit for him. He may be okay with go mode at this point. Gonna check the last two chests because you're there. Why not? Gets in his boat. And is gonna continue checking chests here. I mean, I guess if you're here and you found the tail, which we know it won't be here, but if you were here and you found the tail, why not, right?
It'd be pretty. A nice bonus.
Finds the Aegis shield, which, again, until he decides to get that class change tail, he's not going to be able to use. He's got all the gear. All the gear. Gear for days. The days of gear. Sounds like a Tom Cruise movie.
Oh. Yeah, I'd watch that.
Gunman, run fast.
Exactly.
Another ribbon. So that's two of the ribbons right there for Spellzapp. That ribbon and armory, Volcano Armory, is looking a whole lot less useful at this point. Whole lot less essential.
Now, what does the ribbon do?
Ribbon only provides 1 point of defense, but that's not the real reason to have it. There's it provides defense against every single element in the game. That includes all of the instant death spells as well. So having that ribbon is almost perfect protection.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
There are still, because of critical hits, there's still a 3 in 256 chance that an instant death spell can get through, but it's low. Oh, Hall of Giants right here has the third eye grind. So called because often you get 3 of them.
Uh-huh.
Third eye grind, they have gear 4. That's not going to help you when you have no health, guys. You die to a single lit 3. This is the glory mode tile right here. Third eye grind. Oh, look, there's a ugly mouse over on Kraken's side there for Hypes Nova.
Oh dear. Very angry.
The anger mouse. Spellzapp has this semi-charm kind of life. He's going to be here a little while. Yes, I made a third eye blind reference.
Oh. Oh.
Did you not get it?
That's all I'm
fine.
gonna say. Oh, chat's with you.
Okay. So, Hypes has lit his third orb. Still not in go mode, though. But that does help him out a lot. But because he did Kraken's side first, he's now going to have to go and clear out mermaids. And this gives Spellzapp more time to do this grind and just not worry. Lackey's in chat noting he got the jokes we were making. He didn't get it, but he didn't laugh, but he did get it. And I think that's the appropriate response. It's sad how much of that song I can actually remember, because I didn't even like that song.
It's one of those... What is it? The earwigs?
Earworms.
Earworms.
But it feels like an earwig. I'll agree with you on that. Asher in chat asking if we think Spellzapp's going to bother promoting because he had that grind tile. Well, he walked right past the crown that we know is there, but he doesn't know. I guess we're going to see how many chests he checks. The answer is none. He's done. He's go mode. If he finds the tail, he'll be happy. If he doesn't find the tail, he can live with what he has. He's done. He's gonna go mode this with a Sun Sword. So the Thunder Red Agamas are giving Hypes the business. If he's lucky, he's gonna get past this, and then he just has to hope that the Wizahag doesn't beat him down. Gotta miss.
Almost.
Come on, turn order. Ah, Cure 4. That is the savior right there.
Get him. Yes.
That'll do it. Woo! Lucky. Well done. Yeah, thankfully the Wizahag wasn't even punching for much, so even if he missed it, it would have taken 2 punches. I'm pretty sure that Cure 4 was gonna be just fine. He'll get his party back up and he'll move on with his life.
Oh.
But he is at a disadvantage at this point, even with that crystal, because it's extra crystal, because it's not going to take long for Spellzapp to get this Earth Fiend down, and Spellzapp is already in go mode and is dedicating himself to go mode. Whereas Hypes is going to have to go, like, Clash Change if he wants it, and he's going to have to think about whether or not he wants to get more spells, if he wants to dig for some more equipment, because all the equipment is off the beaten path. Like this really puts Spellzapp in tall order to build himself quite a nice little lead.
Hmm.
Yeah, if he goes to the treasury at Volcano, that is going to help him a lot. I wouldn't expect him to, but the Mazamoon that's lurking there, Mr. Ribbon, why not? Is going to give him a nice edge, because then he's got a sword that he can go all the way through the end game with. The armor he has is... It's fine. It's just fine. It's fine. It's just fine.
It'll be
There's those
okay.
Thunder Sahags again. Huh?
It'll be okay.
Yeah!
Bat? Move it.
The Jade Bat. Everyone, welcome to Bat Heaven, starring bats as bats. Still not able to get to this Lich. The encounters do not want to let him get through this. There we go. Now let's go fight Lich. Or as we know him, the Pothole, because you run right over him and barely notice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, he is not going to put up much of a fight. See? Already gone. Everyone say hi to Lich. Everyone rest. There we go, and Spell now has 3 crystals on the board, and quite the lead indeed. So the question on everyone's mind is Spellzapp gonna go hit that treasury? Is the greed of that enough to make him think it's worthwhile? And the answer is no. He's done. He's out. He's moving on. Sunsword Topher it is. Unfortunately, Hypes is stuck here doing this mermaid check, still hoping to find that floater, even though we know exactly where it is, and this is just burning time that he needs. Spellzapp, interestingly, is taking this fight. Maybe it's unrunnable. I'd have to check it. I mean, it's not a big deal. He's killing it down. It's fine. It's just not worth a lot, so it must have been unrunnable. But yeah, you can see how fast Volcano is when you don't actually have to, like, check anything.
Oh, yeah. Now, is there, at any point in the game, like, say, pre-Topher, where, I don't know, you feel safe? Or is there always something that could happen really bad?
Well, you can always run into a boss that suddenly just scales upwards in the randomizer and is really nasty. But with the levels he has, the gear he has, even at mid-range gear, I don't think there's really anything at this point that's going to scare Spellzapp. Once he got through Kraken and Tiamat and he had most of the gear that he wanted, he probably felt pretty safe with what he was doing.
Okay.
You could always feel more safe, but he felt pretty safe. Carrie swings. Carrie takes out the Black Mage. Spellzapp doesn't really care. He's just going to keep doing what he does. Yeah, swing that coral. Coral. Carrie's down. That puts Spellzapp 4 on the floor, and he is ready to go to Topher anytime he wants, as soon as he can get past his red. And Spellzapp is off and flying. Where's he? Gonna go do Canaria shop first? Yes, he is. He's gonna go He's gonna go crash into the pavement outside of Canaria, bounce back up.
Learn how to park.
Beep, beep, beep. Buys the last of the heal pots he needs, and is now gonna fly up to Topher. I'm more than likely thinking. Yup, and he's gonna go do a dive. Crashes in the Topher just to show it the business. Lights everyone up, pops the house. Oh, wait. He's gonna check his equipment. Oh, is everything just right? Gonna put the white shirt on the thief. Bold play there, Cotton. Now he pops the house. Burns those 3 encounters. And once he crosses that orb, 1 hour, 25 minutes, 5 seconds on our timer. Spellzapp is the first to enter the Temple of Fiends. So he is already quickly moving with that encounter burn that he has right there. Already up to the Phantom tile, which is 3 red Ds this time around. Rearranging something. Where are you putting that? What did you do with that ice sword?
What?
What'd you do with that ice sword, Willis? Oh, putting the mage stick up front so the coral sword was more in a better spot. Okay, that makes sense. And now he is through that room, and he is diving on deeper. Yeah, he is booking it through here. Booking and cooking. Hypes, meanwhile, is going to hit Spider Floor soon, gonna get that floater, and he's gonna have to put the gas on if he wants to have any hope of, like, catching up to Spellzapp if Spellzapp has a nasty wipe.
Yeah, I feel
like... But Spellzapp at this point...
Yeah, I feel like Spellzapp's going to have a nasty wipe for,
He will.
He will?
There's no catching up. No, he will have to have a nasty wipe. I'm not cursing him.
I'm just like, what? What do you know?
No, he'd have to have a nasty wipe. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If he doesn't have a wipe in Topher, it's over. Like, his lead is too substantial at this point, because Hype still has to finish a dungeon even.
Oh, man.
Has to finish this dungeon, has to take the floater up, has to then do the turn-ins. He is, like, maybe 2 Topher wipes behind at this point, honestly. Depending upon where they happen in the dungeon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Unfortunately, he is also getting the business from these encounters. They do not want to let him go right now. He got the bad portion of the encounter table right here. That back-to-back-to-back encounters, that's just so rude.
Oh, and Hype's got the floater now.
So he got that, and he's go-moding the rest of it. He's done. He's not going to bother with any further checks. Cannot blame him.
Yeah, no.
Spellzapp trying to Quake the Dead. Unable to Quake the Dead. 4 hits, 56 damage, and takes out the Black Mage there. That is a pretty beefy little undead monster right there. Even with the Sun Sword, which has undead bonuses swinging at it. Yeah, he is way absorbing. Actually survives to the third round of combat. You never see Lich last this long. And he didn't last fasted, so yeah. I mean, even he's a Temple of Fiends boss, so he's the second version of a boss, which means he has more health and more of everything. But you can only scale up practically no health, so
right.
Jacoper in chat asking why Hype's Nova's sprites keep changing color and sometimes looks like the thief is stone. It's because he has a special fun percent option on for a 3-color battle palette. I'm thinking for one of the sprites that he used or didn't use or whatever, and it's causing some interesting effects on that thief. Meanwhile, Spellzapp is now up to carry 2. He's gonna get there fast, he's gonna get some white shirts out, he's gonna let that thief just get smacked around a bit. Cast Temper, cast Defense, and we're on to the next round. That is 3 charges of, effectively 3 charges of evade there on that fighter. And he's swinging good damage. Was that 8 hits or like 8 something? Temper strats. He's got plenty of charges. It was level 1. Who cares how many he uses up?
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried about Hype's HP.
Yeah, his fighter is okay. The red mages are not doing too well, and he's stuck in this battle right here, which is not helping matters. Thankfully, he has 2 red mages, so as long as he has life, it's fine. But life for days. Who wants to come back from the dead? I do.
I guess this is where he's like, rise from your grave.
And then they get all beefy and become werewolves.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What? I was with you.
Yes,
I felt it.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. Never enough Altered Beast references, I'm just saying.
Right. Can't stop, won't stop.
They didn't.
Oh, yeah. Please.
Notepad hype.
What?
Putting the black mage up front. No one cares about that black. Oh, puts it up right front, right before we actually get to Kraken. There we go. Okay, so black mage is going to cast fast. Hopefully, that's the only thing he needs to worry about. White shirt, defense sword, and a temper. Temper comes out. White shirt comes out. That's going to help a little bit. Does the fast come out? Fast comes out. Now we just want that defense sword. Kraken actually swings for 251. Not able to take down that black mage. That is nice to see. We're on to the second round. More buffing all around from the looks of it. Temper. Swings against the thief for only 63 damage. White shirt comes out. And no defense. That is... he might be fully defended at this point on that fighter at this point. Fantastic to see. Gonna start swinging with that fighter and then figure out what else he wants to cast. White shirt comes out again. Gonna just help to buff the extra characters in the party. 2 hits for 337. That's worthwhile. Lit adds another 100 damage on. Kraken already unable to hit any of the people with his 8 punches. Another Lit 3 to deal another 107 damage. Kraken's like, you have Lit? I have Lit. Eat Lit. 4 hits for 476, not enough. And the red mage misses and the thief does 43. You guys get the participation award.
Aww.
3 hits for 199. This fight is just going on. Come on, guys, you can bring it home. Bring it on home. There you go. 5 hits, 324. Kraken is down. We are now 3 bosses deep and moving on.
Oof.
And he has so many Cure 4s still. He is doing great on those. And meanwhile, Hypes has taken out Kraken. He already had Kraken. He has taken out Tiamat. He is now canoeing his way down to the floater spot so we can turn that floater in. Meanwhile, we've got Temper, Fast, Kraken swinging, killing the Black Mage, but that's okay because we already got a buff off of him and we're fine. We're going to keep on buffing. There we go. Defense. Another white shirt. That should be 5 casts so far of evade on that fighter and a temper to go with. 124 damage from that dealt to that thief. 287 dealt to that red mage. We gotta hope Kraken stops being quite so punchy before she kills off that red mage. Red mage needs to survive. Red mage did survive. That's what matters. That Tiamat didn't have much health, even though she was whopping out some punchy damage. And with that, long as we can get through this floor, we are going to be making our way down to Chaos.
Oh
And we
my
have
gosh.
no encounters on this floor. Spellzapp is the first on this floor. First die, first try. Gonna see where we get from here. And we have no, bear in mind, we haven't seen any nasty spells. I haven't seen any nasty anything. This Chaos could be punching or packing just about anything right now. Hypes gets his power bonk, still has to get that loop to be in go mode. Chaos punches for 112 damage against the Black Mage. Black Mage doesn't matter that much. He's not our primary damage dealer. Get all our buffs off. We're happy. We get to move on to the next round. Inferno comes out. It's going to kill everyone except for the fighter and the red mage. Not really what we want to see. A little sad right there, but I think we can continue working with it. Stun comes out and misses. Defense comes out again to get the extra evade charges we needed. Temper whops around as well. Another Temper. Quad X isn't going to do anything with that ribbon on. Going to swing. 7 hits for 561. Already getting nicely into damage mode right here. Gonna try an X for spicy play right there. 5 hits, 336. X for leaves Chaos defenseless. And now we're gonna try casting some magic, because this Chaos... Oh, doesn't even matter.
Oh.
Chaos is done.
There it is.
Another 507. Chaos had maybe 1500 health. GG's to Spellzapp. That Chaos was not up for Sunsword strats. So there you go. That's the game, Sprockets.
Well, that was exciting. You know, I'll admit, I did not think Spellzapp was gonna catch up, and then suddenly just shot out. And I was like, what? How? Oh, okay. I guess this is just what happens.
Yeah, that is Zap strats right there. Spellzapp knows what he's doing, and I mean, a lot of this was Temple of Fiends just going his way, as Spellzapp jumps in. Temple of Fiends going his way, despite the fact that he wasn't able to class change, and it all worked out. Spellzapp, you there with us?
Yeah, hey, Dark Moon.
Hey!
GG.
GG's on that one.
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
How are you feeling about that?
I felt like I was all over the place, to be honest. Like, the routing, Topher was obviously going to be a lot tougher with just the Sun Sword. So I had to adapt sort of a defensive strategy there. Not usually something you see in these Swiss flag sets, but, you know, it was probably the most scary moment was Kraken 1, but past that, everything was like, okay, well, I can deal with this.
That third eye grind seemed to help you out a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to get like a break point or anything. I was just getting a little bit more HP on the fighter.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that it might end up just being a solo fighter at some point where you end up defensing up, but then everyone else dies. So then getting a bunch of max HP on your fighter is a good move there.
Yeah. Really, this seemed to be a pretty kind Temple of Fiends, all things considered.
Yeah, it didn't seem like anybody shot anything too strong. Chaos, I don't think could even kill my Black Mage with a punch, so I switched over to just full offense.
And it worked out because he had like no health.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? You are now qualified to go into the play-in race at this point. You get to skip the LCQ, last chance qualifier. How do you feel?
Probably a lot better about my chances for sure. I knew if I was in the LCQ, I'd probably be one of the best runners in there, but it's a random game, so you know you can't really bank on that.
Yeah. Whew, that was quite the run right there. So you weren't able to class change. Class change for you, by the way, would have been following a path from Crown through a couple of incentive items. It was a chase.
Is loose
like
at some point, right?
Yeah, Crown loose. Loose Crown on the first floor of Earth where you didn't check.
Okay. So it was
like,
a case.
We were all wondering. Yeah, we were all wondering if you were going to do it, and then when you walked past, we're like, okay, well, no, he's not class changing now.
Yeah, and that's why I went to Earth before Volcano. Was I want to check the tiles, get a couple extra levels just in case I had to push through with this Sun Sword.
Yep. And that's the other thing, if you'd gone into the Volcano Treasury, which you also walked right past, Masamune and the Third Ribbon were lurking in there at the Grey Worm
Well,
chest.
yeah, that's that's good. It's a good couple of items.
It's kind of useful.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't need it, but it was there.
Now, you seemed like you were somewhat worried at the start. At what point did you feel like, okay, this is turning my way?
Getting a floater that late really doesn't. I don't think you ever really think it's your way, even though it was a pretty pretty good run, I would say. But I don't think getting a floater that late is just kind of like, ugh. And then getting the canal. I didn't last location. I could have gone to the volcano, but I was kind of back in the area to turn in some. I think it was like TNT or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, let's do a defensive play here and check Marsh.
Which was Bupkis, except for the canal.
Yeah.
Oh, Marsh. Marsh always sucks. And the Naga water tile just chased you right out of the ball.
Yeah, I was feeling good that I got the two Nagas with the lightning, but then the water just punched you down.
They were super tanky this time around and just did not care about what you were trying for.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hypes is in Topher. He's already passed the pothole. He's now going up against the recycle bin. That's literally the sprite he's using, which is his carry. And he has class changed. So he has an edge with a lot of the gear that he found. I think he actually checked all the Cardia aisles as well. So he's got, like, Dragon, should have Aegis, should have a bunch of stuff. Like, you found a lot of sick gear you weren't able to use.
Yeah, I had the Aegis shield, I had the dragon armor,
Excal,
Excal, Vorpal, Katana ×2.
Look at all this vendor trash I'm never going to use.
I can hang it on my sword rack and tell everybody about.
Setup.
Yeah, tell everybody how about I saved the world.
Look at the pretty armor I used. So Hypes is now up to his Kraken fight, which is an angry cursor. He's getting his buffs out. This is the point at which we actually need to start paying attention to him. Powers, tempers, fast. Kraken comes out with a lightning too. No one cares about that, especially when you've already got class change characters. Katana hits for 1 hit, 1 damage. Kraken doesn't care about that at all, but then that's a pretty weak thief, I think, as well, who's been mostly kissing dirt. 4 hits for 698 from that buffed Masamune. That is much better. Another round of lightning too. No one cares about that. Lock, easier to hit. Even the Katana is now doing 3 hits for 128. That's very nice. Second lock comes out. Lock strats, best strats. Kraken tries to take down the fighter, fails. Masamune's going to come swinging out. Still not taking on this Kraken. This Kraken had a lot of health. Still not down on that extra hit for another 438. But Kraken comes out with ink, and no one cares about ink. 3 hits, 50 damage. Still around. Still stuck in this fight. Bane comes out, is able to kill the thief, but no one else. And with another 5 hits for 590, that Kraken is down. He has made it through. He is on to the next fight. Yeah, it seems like Kraken, honestly, was the worst thing that you found in this dungeon, Spellzapp.
Yeah, he had quite a bit of health.
He did. None of them seemed to have any spells that they cared about using, and when they did use them, they weren't anything to worry about.
No, Kraken was just lit 2, ink, something like that. I don't remember, but it felt like he was a vanilla Kraken.
Vanilla Kraken 1, maybe even.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tiamat pull. Thief goes down. We're going to get our buffs out on the fighter. Red Mage goes down to 2 man. Hopefully doesn't have to man mode this after. 8 hits for almost 1,200 damage. Well, that Tiamat's already gone because we knew she didn't have a lot of health. That's going to be okay. Yeah, that was very much a glass cannon that you saw. I think you were preparing for that fight to be a little worse than it was, and it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any fight you're gonna enter, you have to put a bunch of buffs into the Sun Sword. So you want to lay a good defensive groundwork, regardless of because if he's got 600 health, but you're only hitting for 2 digits, then you're you're not in a good spot.
And yes, since he's done Microsoft for everything else, his final boss is Clippy. He gets his buffs out.
That's
He
great.
does a swing with the katana. Oh, love it. Love it. Chaos's Quad X does nothing. Got a Power Bunk cast, got a Temper cast, got a Temper cast. And now we're going to see where we go from here. More Tempers. 73 damage hit from Chaos. Chaos isn't even swinging for all that much. More powers, more Tempers. Get that Power Bunk out. Going to do some lock casting. I don't see a White Shirt coming out. I'm thinking he didn't even get it. But it's not really going to matter that much if he starts swinging massive damage against this Chaos. 2 locks hit. And he is still Power Bonking at this point and casting those locks. He really wants to make sure that he can swing once, swing away, and that's all she wrote. Still unable to kill any of the party members with punching. This Chaos has no power behind him, but he's still buffing. I think knowing that he's already lost this fight, he is just going to do all the buffing he can and go for a one-hit Chaos. I mean, you gotta love the style of it. Damage Poison comes out, that's also chip damage. Big swing for 1200 damage. Chaos is immediately down. We know exactly how much health he had, and that is there. Hypes Nova goes 3-3 in the tournament. Gonna have to go to the last chance qualifier, but a big GD to him for finishing this out in a time better than I did in any of my runs in the tournament at all. We'll see if we can get an interview out of Hypes.
But yeah, I was telling Darkmoon is like, I feel fortunate to be able to watch this run because it's like watching 2 really good runners and seeing what they do and how they run because I'm still learning, and oh my gosh, it was just such a good run to watch. I mean, I'm sure you were frustrated with things.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of checking you got to do in this flag set. Just in the Chaos Week, it seems a little bit more guided in the other ones with the incentive dungeon. So really, it could be 2 runners just go off in 2 different directions in this sort of flag set, and it kind of sounds like what we did.
Yeah, definitely. At one point, Hypes had 2 orbs lit, and then you had the opposite 2 orbs lit, and it's just like, what?
We both took a direction and just
Yeah, it was like neck and neck for a while, and then whoop, off you 2 went. It's like, huh, nice.
Hey, there we go. Hypes is now in the booth with us. Hypes, GG's.
Hey, GG Hypes.
You're gonna have to give me like 1 second to adjust my volume on my headphones. You guys are way too loud.
Uh-oh.
You're all good. Yeah.
It's okay. GG.
Ears. All right, I'm good now.
Okay. So GG's.
Thanks.
How do you feel about that run?
It's par for the course. I mean, I didn't practice.
What's practice?
Had a different controller. What's new?
So you have gone 3-3 in the tournament. I saw your comment in the race chat after that. You're happy you're out from this tournament. Are you going to participate in the last chance qualifier, or was this your last run? No.
I'm done.
I can understand that. Like seriously, I fully understand that. So how do you feel about your time in the tournament then?
It was okay.
That was fair. We got a kick over your bosses. The recycling bin. Clippy, yes.
Yeah. I was like everything looked except for your one thief sprite. Everything looked so vanilla that when you got to that crack carry fight, you completely distracted me, and I missed like everything Spellzapp was doing for like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah. They're good. I had a lot of fun making those. I'm not really good at sprite hacking, so I just sat down for like a couple hours and hacked on all the bosses. But it ended up turning out pretty good, so it was fun.
Oh, that was great. But yeah, it was a good run to watch. Oh my gosh, I loved it.
So when did Spellzapp go sky? Early?
Earlier than
After
you did.
sea, I went to Ordeals, Waterfall, Sea, and then Sky.
I was trying to beach at your own game. I went there with only the chime because I didn't hit up Waterfall yet.
Ah,
And all I saw was the ribbon. I'm like, no, it's not here. So I full cleared C, man. I was like, dang.
Sea was kind of a bust, huh?
Oh, yeah, completely. I was like, well, maybe it could be in like TFC or something, but no, it's always in Sky.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was banking on.
So it is. We have gone 2 hours at this point, which I think was all we were allotted for. But I don't want to like chase you guys out too much. If there's anything else you want to talk about, any other questions? Any thoughts about?
Yeah, you don't need defense. Don't get those crutches. Just kill them until they die.
All out attack has seemed to work really well for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the Sun Sword, so that wasn't really.
You didn't pick up Mazza?
No, apparently not.
It's an
Walked right
armory.
past it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So it's hypes. Final thoughts on the tournament, the seed.
Blah.
Spellzapp. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean it was a fun race. You know, Hype's. I saw that he's been getting a lot better. So I brought my A game and pulled out the win. And then now I'm looking forward to do the play-in race and try and place top and make it into brackets.
Sprockets. Any final thoughts for you?
Oh, it was oh my gosh. It was like edge of the seat kind of run. It was fantastic to witness. So thank you guys for putting it on.
It was a great early back and forth that really led to a pretty good matchup all the way. So with that, I think we're going to wrap this one up at this point. I want to make sure to remind everyone to follow your runners, Spellzapp and Hypes Nova 1 on Twitch. While you're there, you can also follow the various people behind the scenes making this run possible. Asher1611, Sprocket Stance with an underscore, and myself, Darkmoon Firelight on Twitch. Make sure you also give a little bit of a fave there to Randomania 2 for hosting us. Always appreciate everything they're willing to do for us. This has been a presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2020. One of the last races we're going to get this week. We have 2 more days of Swiss, and then we're going to be moving on to Last Chance Qualifier and the play-in races in a couple weeks. So stick around. Continue watching for the next couple days to see all the great Final Fantasy Randomizer action. Watch your players battle against each other for just a couple more days. And until then, we will see you next time.